To you I pray, bow down prostrate. You are the only one worthy of praise. I stand before you with an attentive heart. Erase my sins from the present and past. To you I pray, bow down prostrate. You are the only one worthy of praise. I stand before you with an attentive heart. Erase my sins from the present and past.
Allah Akbar. So many things happening in the world, so many issues with Muslims, our brothers, our sisters, all over the world, suffering. It seems like today Muslims don't really care that much about what's going on with the rest of the Ummah. If they're okay, their families, everything is fine, then it's okay. I'll just worry about myself. I'll just worry about what I have to do. I don't care about reading the news, about finding out what's happening, about making dua for our brothers and sisters in Syria, in Egypt, and all over the world where people are suffering, subhanAllah. This is one of the symptoms of weakness of faith, of lack of iman, of lack of attachment to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a diseased heart. We find that the Prophet ﷺ told us a very, very important hadith. There's a very important comparison where he said that the ummah should be like a body. Okay, if there's one thing that is ailing, one part of this body that is suffering from fever or anything like that, then the whole body should suffer. I mean, take that in consideration and think about it today. How is it today? Do we suffer about what's going on in the world? Do we suffer about what's happening to our brothers and sisters? Do we even care about checking about them and what are the details of what's happening? This is a huge problem today. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Did you check the news today by any chance?
Alhamdulillah, I did check the news, found some disturbing information, like how the shooting in the city of Connecticut where over 20 youngsters were killed, small children and that. But basically checking on the different countries, also the Islamic countries, and what is happening in the Islamic countries and that. And it's important that we as Muslims should really care about what is happening, because at the end of the day, we are all brothers and sisters.
But it seems that today people are, especially the Muslims, not very informed. At the same time, they don't care that much to be informed about the affairs of the Muslims. And this is one of the symptoms of lack of faith, of commitment to the deen, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we don't feel that our brothers, our sisters all over the world, that we don't feel like this ummah concept, this family concept, this nation concept, that we are one nation, and our way is La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. The people are starving in many places. I mean, we have so many issues right now. Somalia, we have Syria, we have Iraq, we have many other countries, Burma, and so many things that the Muslims are really suffering. And if you ask someone, for example, what is Burma? Yeah, they will not know. They'll say, what is Burma? What are you talking about? What's happening in Burma? Well, you'll ask them, do you know what's happening in Somalia? Do you know what's happening in Africa? Do you know about this drought, about that drought? Do you know what happened in Indonesia? I didn't know what's going on. What?
And just mentioning this, there's a very close friend of mine, and he mentioned something which is very important. It's that if you're not going to care what is happening to your own Muslim brothers and sisters who are, like in Islam, your Muslim brother and sister, then how are you going to care about the non-believers and those that are being oppressed? Because it's not only in the Muslim countries where Muslims are being oppressed. You find that, for example, in the African countries, in other countries, other parts of the world, non-Muslims are also being oppressed and killed, like the Muslims. So you need to show that affection to your Muslim brothers and sisters, so that in return also you feel affection and you feel heartful that all these people are insan and the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they are being oppressed. And basically this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, كَانُوا قَلِيلًا مِنَ اللَّيْلِ مَا يَهْجَعُونَ وَبِالْأَسْحَارِ هُمْ يَسْتَغْفِرُونَ. That the true believer is that person that takes a little time to rest, and then وَبِالْأَسْحَارِ, and at the time of dawn, when everybody is asleep, they are making istighfar and tawbah. And Allah, what is the tawbah and istighfar? That, Ya Allah, I am here. I cannot, and like I always mention what this here, I said that the Sahaba, they went into battle.
Yes.
Some of them accepted arrows.
Right.
They gave their blood. At least let us give our tears to the Ummah.
And now we look at the world around us, subhanAllah. There are so many ways of helping our Muslim brothers and sisters, right? There's so many ways of giving sadaqah. There's so many opportunities to do something good, and we find that people are not even racing. They're not even caring about helping the other ones. You are fine in your own dandy place. You have a nice warm apartment. You're sleeping in a nice warm bed. Other people, and you cannot even know whether they're gonna make it to tomorrow, whether they're gonna eat, whether they're gonna sleep. So, what can a Muslim who is in a good situation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed them, what can they do to feel more connection to our brothers and sisters all over the world who are suffering? What can we do to gap this, to bridge this gap that's happening between us and the rest of the Ummah? And alhamdulillah, we are alhamdulillah in a very safe place and having a very good life. Alhamdulillah, we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and ask Him to bless us more. But what can we do to bridge this gap?
And like we said, sometimes it's impossible for you to, okay, I'm just getting my sword, or I'm just going to get... Islam is not that way.
Right.
You understand? If you look at the movements of Islam and you read through the history and how one of the movements of Islam was that how they moved into a person, the ulama would ask and invoke the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon those people. One of the ways the ulama that's standing up in the late at that time, where asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide the Muslims, to assist the Muslims, to assist the Ummah, to guide the Ummah. You understand? To bring everybody on the fold of Islam. You do not know your dua that you make with sincerity, who it affects in a different part. It could be a family, it could be an individual, it could be, you do not know, So basically, it is not only that we're saying that, okay, you should go there or you should take all your money and give it away, It is about finding out, and knowing what is happening to our Muslim brothers. Don't be, just like, okay, they are so far, shame, or when you're on the TV
it's too bad,
and watch the news, oh, shame, look at how they're killing that mother with her baby, and then change the channel again, So basically, you just for that second, oh, you understand? What are you doing about that day? What is the feeling in you for that Muslim brother? Because that is your Muslim sister and your Muslim brother that has been killed. Like how in Bosnia, the one girl who sent a message, and the scholar was speaking, and he said that girl in Bosnia was saying that we know that you cannot do anything to assist us, but please just assist us by sending for us tablets so that we don't get pregnant because we are being raped. You understand? The scholar was crying. These are the things that are happening.
And the other caller that recently happened in Spain from, I believe it was Somalia, that he called, Sheikh, is our fast accepted? If we don't have iftar, if we don't break our fast because we don't have food to eat, and Sheikh started crying on the
TV, it shows, ourselves also, we need to look in ourselves also. It's so painful that we do not have this remorse. We do not feel nothing, and basically our lives are just carrying on, and it's basically like my life, my way. First I need to get my priorities, I need to get my stuff, and maybe, so basically it's about me, whereas it was never about you.
I really like the example he gives in that clip about the guy stuck in traffic. He thinks that it takes it personal, which brings us to the point that a pessimist is very subjective when it comes to negative things that happens in his life.
But for example, if you are talking to me about doing something good in life, and you are on the bed of death, that you want to do something for your ummah. This is why we did this program, to make you get your achievable goals before you reach the moment that you will not be able to achieve anything.
SubhanAllah, if I may add, if I have a positive attitude and if I have courage, why it doesn't appear in all the problems that I face? Why it doesn't appear in all what I do in my life? Actually, because you are not responsible enough to
to control your mindset.
I was reading a study on New York government. They wanted to improve the crime rate. They wanted to lower the crime rate ultimately. And they found that in the subways there was a lot of graffiti, a lot of trash. And just by doing a little thing, like removing the trash and removing the graffiti and making a more clean environment, the crime rate actually lowered. So this shows the power that how little things can really make a big difference.
And in this future, I don't know if we can win this war.
بالروح بالدم نفديك يا غزة. Through our souls and our lives and our blood, we will sacrifice everything for you, O Gaza. أيها المسلمون، إن إخواننا في الشام لا يخفى علينا حالهم ولا يغيب عن أنظارنا مناظرهم وصورهم. إننا نبكي مع بكائهم ونحزن لحزنهم ونجد لموجدتهم، ولو كنا بينهم لدافعنا عن أعراضهم لأنها أعراضنا، ولسكبنا أرواحنا فداء لأرواح إخواننا، فنهم أهل لنا وهم أحبتنا. ولا يرضى مسلم أبدا أن يرى امرأة عفيفة نشأت على القرآن والحجاب يتأبطها فاجر تحت إبطه فيسوقها إلى مخدعه. أي رجل يحل له أن ينام أو يسكت له دمع أو يهدأ له بال وهو يسمع عن إخواننا مثل هذه الأحوال؟ لكننا واثقون بنصر الله تعالى.
But today we find that, of course, there are some ways that people can help, right? And there's many organizations today, alhamdulillah, that establish channels and pathways of helping these people, right? So I think one of the advice that I would have for the youth and for the people, they should get involved in, is approach these organizations and volunteer even, subhanAllah. So I know there's a group of volunteers called, I believe it's Doctors Without Borders or something like that, and there's people who dedicate. I have a friend of mine who actually does that. And subhanAllah, he goes to Pakistan and he is a plastic surgeon, right? And he goes for a month each year and does like reconstructive surgery on the faces, and people have been crippled and so on by bombs and these drone attacks and so on. And he gives his time and no pay, nothing. Out of his time, find something that you're good at. Okay, you might not have money, you might have this, but maybe you're good at, you're a doctor, or you're good at of doing media or something, or you're good at something, and you use that skill that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given it to you and dedicate some time in helping the ummah. Travel a bit, get out of this box. A lot of people, we meet a lot of Muslims, they've never left the comfort of their own home, of their country, of their place, right? Do something to help the ummah. Find what you're good at. There's so many channels of it. And if you can do it, as you say, at least we should make dua, man. We should make that qunut, A lot of this is a sunnah, really a sunnah that's been forgotten, right? To make the qunut and in Fajr, right? With the Prophet ﷺ, to make sometimes when something bad would happen in the world, he used to make qunut after all the prayers. And he used to, stay on it and make this dua and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to ease it. And we know that this happened when, the Sahabas were killed, the ones who were sent to teach the people, the Quran, right? The 70 Qaris, And the Prophet ﷺ kept on, for about a month of keep making dua, the qunut, of invoking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, against these people. And we should have at least this firm belief in the dua that, hey, we might not have money, we might not have the way, but at least this shows that in our heart there is a concern for our brothers and our sisters. And we need to believe in this power of the dua. And we need to feel, we need to cry, we need to feel that hadith, that, subhanAllah, this part of the body is suffering, that we should suffer, man. We should try to follow these news and the affairs of the Muslims, to be informed, as what is going on.
It's important because at the end of the day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the hadith where Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentions that those 7 people that will be under the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from amongst them on the day or when the sun will be, you know, where it will be burning, the sun will be scorching hot, few so close to us. And from them, رَجُلَانِ تَحَبَّا فِي اللَّهِ, you know, اجْتَمَعَ عَلَيْهِ وَتَفَرَّقَ عَلَيْهِ, you know, those two brothers that meet only for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know, and their hands part because of the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and their hands depart because of the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it comes in another hadith where their minor sins are forgiven, you know. So it shows the importance of your Muslim brother. Another hadith mentions that if you smile at your Muslim brother, it's charity. You understand? Another hadith mentions if you move a iota of dirt from the road in order that it doesn't hurt your next Muslim brother, because of that act it could enter into Jannah. You understand? So these are showing love for your Muslim brother, that which you love for yourself. You understand? So many of
the beautiful hadith.
So many hadith are mentioning about caring for your Muslim brother.
And the Prophet said, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى
يحب لأخيه ما تحب لنفسه. You understand? So basically it's important.
Iman is put next to the love for your brother and what you love for yourself. And you love for yourself a comfortable bed, love for the person in Syria and in Iraq, a comfortable bed.
Like we said, the worry, that concern has to be there. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to recite Salah, he used to, in the morning, be giving da'wah, knocking on the doors. It is mentioned that one day he came knocking on the door of Abu Jahl. It was a cold night. Abu Jahl said, whoever this is, you understand, at this time of the night, I'll give him whatever he wants. And when he opened the door, he found that it was Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And yet he closed the door in his face. But look, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam during the day giving da'wah, going different places to place, being stoned.
He's caring about the people.
At the night he used to stand in salah until his feet used to swell.
Ummati,
You understand? Crying for this ummah.
Ya
You understand? Crying for the guidance of this ummah. So this teaches us that it is from the sunnah that a Muslim during the day should try and give whatever he can, should try and worry and it's concerned. And at night, a Muslim should be the one that is crying towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to assist the Muslim brothers and sisters across the world. Wallahi, imagine the day of Qiyamah when they testify and they say that our Muslim brothers and sisters left our blood to be shed. They did not do anything. At least if you were the one that spent those nights crying, you can come in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and say, Ya Allah, I sacrificed my tears for my Muslim brothers and sisters that were suffering all around the world.
This reminds me, subhanAllah, of a beautiful story. Sheikh Hassan al-Banna was asked about someone, and he said, what about those people who have not heard about Islam, right? And he said, you will be asked about it, right? So again, what about those people who are suffering? We, the ones who are not suffering, the ones who are blessed, we will be asked about what did you do with the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, right? What did you do with the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you? And this is a test for us, and it's a test. We have things, we have abilities, we have possibilities even, and we're not doing anything.
So inshallah, before concluding, what do you think are some of the benefits of worrying and having that concern for our Muslim brothers and their affairs and the problems that are, in fact, having that worry for brothers and sisters in Islam, and also for those to accept Islam, having that concern?
I think if we worry about this, it will definitely cause us to humble ourselves first and foremost, right? If you have heart, if you don't nothing concerns you, right? SubhanAllah, and you will not do anything. But if you start, first of all, you need to know what's going on. If you don't inform yourself, you don't know what are the affairs, what's happening there, you will not feel any worry. If you know what's going on, and this worry starts, alhamdulillah, wallah hamd, and it enters your heart, and this will definitely humble you, will make you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you will feel maybe nothing's happening to you, and sometimes subhanAllah, and this kind of affliction, it might bring you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when you feel for your brothers and sisters, when you feel for them, you make dua, you humble yourself in your dua, this is gonna definitely benefit you and humble you, right? At the same time, subhanAllah, it will give you an opportunity to do something good, right? We should all look for some kind of sadaqah or something good, because we have so many sins, and this is an opportunity to erase the sins.
We met a group yesterday who just came back from Gaza, and they were saying that they took with them a few sweets and they say they were giving it to the small young children, and he says that smile was priceless.
Subhanallah. Just
For
imagine
10
this.
cents here in Egypt you say the kirsh, or for a penny, for a coin, for a cent, that smile was priceless. You couldn't buy it. They were so happy because they were in the refugee camps and there was nothing else for them. And he was saying that imagine what will be the sin if you are smoking,
Allah,
and your money is being wasted on smoking, and yet you find, understand? So this all of this comes into caring and having that concern.
And imagine the ajr from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And don't we all need the ajr, subhanAllah. People, they take ajr lightly. They think they had the opportunity. And imagine, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, إِنَّ الْحَسَنَاتِ يُذْهِبْنَ السَّيِّئَاتِ. You take a little bit of ajr, and this will erase the sin. And who is not in need of being their sins erased? SubhanAllah. So, we need this. We need to be informed. We need to care. Actually, we need these people. We are in need of them more sometimes than they are in need of us. To do something good for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to remove some of these things, to humble these hard hearts that have been attached to discomfort and this dunya, this blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. And the last and not least, we should remember that this is a ni'mah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if we, this is something very important. Walillah alhamd.
Oh Lord, to you I pray, bow down, prostrate. You are the only one worthy of praise. I stand before you with an attentive heart. Erase my sins from the present and past. To you I pray, bow down, prostrate. You are the only one worthy of praise. I stand before you with an attentive heart. Erase my sins from the present and past. I surrender to you. I entrust all of my affairs to you. I depend on you for your blessings too, both with hope and fear of you. There is no fleeing